What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? This is Lonnie Hill with Lonnie Hill Flatline Fitness. This is where we burn calories, we flatline fat, and we strengthen our hearts on a daily basis, baby, through diet and exercise so that we can live a lean, clean, and healthy lifestyle. We also learn nutritional facts to help us out and aid us in that fat burning. We finna talk about something real big today. You know what I'm saying? This is really gonna help you out, but it's only part one because what we're gonna talk about is a very vast subject. So we're gonna have to break it up in a few days, not 2 days. So boom, today's topic is the cardiorespiratory system. Bam. So hey, we gotta juggle this thing a little bit, baby. Okay, the cardiorespiratory system, we also know that is composed of two closely related systems. This is the cardiorespiratory system, consisting of the heart, the blood vessels, and the respiratory system, which includes the trachea, the bronchi, and the lungs. Now, like everything else in the body, they have to work together. In order to work together, by them working together, it provides the body with adequate oxygen and nutrients, and they remove waste products such as CO2 from the cells of the body. So they got to work together. There's like everything else in the body. If it's not working together, then it's not gonna get, the job ain't gonna get done. It's like teamwork, baby, make the dream work. So teamwork in the body makes the body function like it's supposed to. So we're gonna be starting with the cardiovascular system, which is the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. And the blood vessels is what transport the blood from the heart to the tissues of the body. Although we've talked about plenty of times in the past of the human movement system, but as you guys know, all this works together. So it's very important that we understand the cardiorespiratory system and the cardiovascular system, because what that's going to do is that's going to enable us to better understand the human movement system, because all this stuff works together. So boom, the first thing we're going to start with today is the heart. You know, the heart is a very big subject, you know, because there's a lot of things. The heart does a lot of things. It doesn't just pump blood, you know what I mean? Well, it pumps blood through the body, that's what it does, you know, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that plays a role in the functions of the heart. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna just talk about a certain part of the heart today, and then on later days we're gonna continue to go. As you guys know, the heart is a muscular pump that rhythmically contracts blood and pushes it throughout the body. This is how you live it. You know what I'm saying? That blood, if the body don't have no blood, baby, hey, what's gonna happen? Blood is what makes everything function like it's supposed to be. Well, help aids in the function of everything in the body. So we're going to talk about the size of an adult of a normal adult heart, which is the size of a fist, which is about 300 grams, a total of about 10 ounces roughly, give or take. You know what I'm saying? But the cardiac muscles is one of the three major muscles, being the cardiac muscle, skeletal muscle, and smooth muscles. The cardiac muscles and the skeletal muscles are similar, but they differ also. You know, a lot of things in the body, they function in similar ways, but they have those small things that make a big difference. You know, so hey, as a skeletal muscle contains myofibrils and sarcomeres, so do the cardiac muscles. They are also aligned side by side. However, they differ in the fact that skeletal muscles are voluntary. Cardiac muscles are involuntary, meaning that they cannot typically be consciously controlled. You know what I mean? So like your heart, boom, you can't control that. You know what I mean? I mean, you can speed it up through exercise and things like that. You know, speed it up while you're exercising and creating a stronger heart. That way your resting heart rate may be a little lower, but you can't control it. You know what I'm saying? In regards to your skeletal muscles, you know, boom, you got control over all that. You know, so involuntary and voluntary muscles. Also, the cardiac muscle fibers are shorter and more tightly connected than the skeletal muscles. Another unique feature of the cardiac muscles is that there are irregularly spaced dark bands in between the cardiac cells called intercalated discs, right? Which is what help hold the muscles together, help hold the muscle cells together during contraction, and create on the electrical and creates the electrical connection between the cells that allow the heart to contract and function as a unit. So boom, let's get into the heart a little bit. Like I was telling you guys, that was just, you know, a brief, you know, yada 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 about the heart, but you know, it's very important to understand how it functions. So boom, the thing about the heart is that it has its own built-in conduction system, unlike the skeletal system, which sends electrical signals rapidly throughout the body, all throughout the cardiac cells. The typical resting heart rate, we all know, which is between 70 and 80 beats per minute. So if that's average, you know, for a resting heart rate. Me personally, you know, I like to pat myself on the back sometimes. You know, right now I'm at a 58 resting heart rate. The lowest heart rate I've ever had was a 52. That was when I was like, whoa. You know, I went to the doctor one time, and he was checking my heart rate. He was like, man, like, you must work out pretty often. I'm like, you know, couldn't, you know, brag too much or whatever the case, but you know, that's a major part of my life, is remaining healthy and making sure that everything else is functioning the way that it's supposed to. We all fall short, you know, we all have our vices or whatever, so, but we get stronger every day. The electric conduction system consists of the SA node, which is basically known as the pacemaker in the heart. You know, I'm sure you guys understand what a pacemaker is. It controls the heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? It sends electrical signals that causes the heart to beat. You know, you got people who have heart conditions and things like that that need a pacemaker put into their heart so that way it continues to beat and it controls the heartbeat. You know, so that's what it is. It's the SA node. You know, you guys can check that out. The intranodal pathways transfer the impulses from the SA node to the anteroventricular node, which is what is called the AV node. Okay, so those two got to work together in order for the heart to function the way that they're supposed to function. And there's so much more, though. There's so much more. We're going to get into that. You know, so not today, because it's a vast subject. So we're going to ease off into it, and then we're going to end up, you know, teaching everything about the heart that we need to know. The AV node delays the impulses before allowing it to move to the ventricles. Okay, so basically, as the pacemaker sends the signals to contract the heart, and then that goes to the AV node, that signal goes to the AV node, but the AV node modulates. I'm gonna use the word modulates, or controls, or, you know, delays the impulse so it's in rhythm with the way that it's supposed to be in regards to the functions of the heart as well as the functions of the body. So here in the ventricles, here the AV bundle conducts impulses to the ventricles for contraction via the left and right bundles of the Purkinje fibers. Now, we're not going to get into that. You know what I mean? Not today anyways. Like I said, there's a lot of things that we're going to cover, but we're also going to get into that because I'm interested, you know, as I was reading and learning and things like that. You know, I've read about the heart several times in my life, but the fact that I understand fitness and health to a better level now, and now I'm reading these things, it's making more sense to me, so it's grabbing me. So I want to give you guys all the information just as I'm learning the information. So that's just what it is. The heart is composed of 4 hollow chambers that are delineated into 2 interdependent but separate pumps on either side. You know, hey, they're separated, but they're interconnected. You know, they got to work together. You know what I'm saying? They're interdependent, but they got to work together, which means they have to work together. Interdependent, right? So, boom. These 2 pumps are separated by the introseptum, which is a septum of which separates the atria, and the interventricular septum, which separates the ventricles. Okay, so basically you got these things, the ventricles and the atrias that work together, but like I said, they got something that's separating them, and the reason why they're separated like that is so that there isn't any backflow or mix up or anything like that when the heart is pumping the blood and the blood is flowing through. So they have to work together, but at the same time they have to be separated so that none of this happens. Each side of the heart has 2 chambers, the atrium and the ventricle, which are the 2 that we were just talking about. The right side of the heart is referred to as the pulmonic side because it receives blood from the body that is low in H2 and high in C O2. I mean, low in O2 and high in CO2. I don't know why I said HO2, but which is deoxygenated blood, and pumps it to the lungs and then back into the left atrium. The side is referred to as the systemic side. The other side is I refer to as the systemic side because it pumps blood high in O2 and low in CO2, oxygenated blood, to the rest of the body. So that's how that works. One side pumps oxygenated blood, one side pumps deoxygenated blood. You know, so as one blood is going through here with oxygen, then it's coming back, it's going through the body, and it's coming back through your veins and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the, you know, heart or whatever. And one side is receiving it from a deoxygenated standpoint. So, you know, that's what it is. Now, at the end of the day, the functions of the heart, okay, you have what you call the stroke volume. The stroke volume is the amount of blood that is pumped out of the heart with each contraction. So boom. Like for a person who works out like myself, you know what I mean? When you have a lower heart rate, you know what I'm saying? Not too low where you know, like, man, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? But because of diet and exercise, you know, your heart rate becomes lower than the typical 70 or 80 beats per minute. You know, that means that your heart, in most cases, if this is done through diet and exercise, is stronger, which means that your heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump the blood through your body. So if you get, like, as opposed, you got a person that's like, and then yours is like, doom, 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 you know what I'm saying? It's like, boom, you know what I'm saying? It's like a power stroke, stroke volume, power stroke. So that makes up for a strong heart, which is what they're talking about, the stroke volume. Obviously, we know what the heart rate is, which is the rate at which the heart beats. Let's talk about cardiac output. Cardiac output is the volume of the blood pumped by the heart per minute. Cardio output, right, is a combination function of the heart rate and the stroke volume. So cardiac output is a combination of heart rate and stroke volume. Like I said, it is the amount of blood pumped per minute. You know what I mean? So you got, like I said, if you got the typical heart that's beating 70 to 80 beats per minute, boom, 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 you're probably, you know, it's going to be average. But if you got that strong heart that can just give that stroke, boom, and just a burst of blood, just boom, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you're going to get more, you know, blood circulation than you would for a person that has a higher heart rate. You know what I'm saying? Because that when your heart increases, when your heart rate increases, that means your heart is working harder. You know what I'm saying? Boom, to circulate the blood through your body and things like that, which ultimately isn't good unless this is a result of exercise. You know what I'm saying? Because if your heart rate isn't increasing during exercise, then you probably need to figure out how to make that happen. You know, and that's just what it is. The average person has a resting heart rate of 70 beats per minute and a resting stroke volume of 70 milliliters beats of cardio output, and the resting heart rate will be again 70 beats per minute. So what you would do is you would take 70 beats per minute times 70 milliliters beats, which equals up to 4,900 milliliters per minute. So that's how you do that calculation in regards to cardiac output. Now the reason why I felt like it was very important to talk about the heart, obviously because we need to know how it works, you know what I mean, and also we're going to talk about how the heart also promotes calorie burning, ultimately fat burning. You know, if the result of an increased heart rate is due because of your cardio or your work ethic in regards to working out, then that's a good thing. And the faster your heart rate is, the more calories you burn per minute. From my studies, the average person burns about 10 calories per minute. You know what I mean, on a cardio machine at a steady pace. You know, and that's just a regular heartbeat. That's just a regular heartbeat. So if you increase your heart rate, then that's going to increase your calorie burning. And what I recommend is what is called high intensity training, high intensity interval training, HIIT. You know, if you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and things like that, you'll see I do a lot of that. You know, that's where you increase the heart rate as high as you can. You go full blast like a sprint, right? Get that heart rate up, burning those calories, burning that fat, and then you do a short burst of calming your heart rate down. Boom, bringing it back down. Boom. And then once that rest period is over, then you boom, spike it back up. Right? And what that does is that trains your body also to stay in fat burning mode. When you do long, draw it out cardio, yes, you're going to burn the calories. Yes, you're going to burn fat, right? But you burn it at a faster rate doing intervals. And it lasts longer. When you get on that, or do sprints or whatever case, get on that elliptical machine and you run sprints, even after you get off that elliptical machine, because of those sprints, your body is still benefiting from those sprints. You know what I'm saying? So it's still revving, it's still burning at a high level. You know what I mean? Your body is always burning calories, even if you're a person who don't work out. It's just that most people, when you see people that's overweight or whatever the case is, because they're taking in more food than what their body, more calories than what their body is actually burning. So, but we're going to talk about the heart rate. We're going to stick to the heart rate on this one right here. So yeah, you always want to, whenever you're doing interval training, working out, you always want to do high intensity, calm your heart rate down, high intensity, calm your heart rate down. Do your research. It's a method that has been used for years and years. You know, I was all the way up to 226 pounds. Right now I'm like 185, somewhere up in there. You know, and I kind of been cruising a little bit. You know, I've been working my tail off. You know, I do videos every day or whatever the case. I am a vegan, but even though one is a vegan and eat, you know, healthy or whatever the case, you still can eat too much. And that's not saying that I'm eating too much, because I don't, but I do enjoy myself, because right now I'm at a comfortable weight. But I'm going to start cutting down about another 10 pounds. I just want to stay at 185 for a little while, but I'm going to cut down to about another 10 pounds doing interval training and stuff like that. So that's where it's at. The heart is very important. You want to keep the heart strong. You want to work the heart. And you're going to do everything you can to make sure that the heart is strong and always in fat burning mode. So tell me what you guys think about this video. Please hit me up on Facebook under Lonnie Hill Flatline, Instagram Flatline Fitness 1, YouTube Lonnie Hill's Flatline Fitness. Cardiorespiratory system and the heart today, tomorrow, or the next day. We're going to talk about the blood and blood vessels, and then we're going to get into the respiratory system. And we're going to start talking about more how this relates to fat burning and losing weight, because that's what it's all about. You know, we in for it to become healthier, and we do that by losing weight, getting in shape, so that way our body can function the way that it's supposed to. And know that when you're overweight, people think to be obese you have to be 50 and 60 pounds or real huge. You know, obese is like 20 pounds over what it says that you're supposed to be at your height and things like that. That's what obese is. You know what I mean? So, and overweight, that margin is even smaller. You know, so, but you got to take body fat content to that as well too, because you got some people that are compact and real muscular with a low body fat percentage that are way above the average that the weight scale says that they should be. So in those instances, you know, you really can't, you know, look at that. But for someone, the average person that doesn't work out and things like that, that's what you want to look at. So remember, heart rate, how the heart works, and things like that. Interval training, let's make it happen. Lonnie Hill Flatline Fitness. I appreciate y'all showing up. I apologize, I'm stumbling all over the place. I'm still learning you know, this heart and stuff like that. It's a lot of information to retain, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna definitely get it. You know, every day we at it, we're working, we're grinding, and we got our head in them books. See y'all in the morning. Take care. God bless. Keep God first in everything you do. Follow your dreams. Don't stop. Don't compromise. Don't give in for nothing. Family always second. Hello, 100.